Good early evening here, YouTube people. What is going on with you all today? I'm coming to you with a new video. Yes, I'm in a different position right now. I'm not trying to show you any more than what I'm showing you here. There has to be a certain type of secrecy to things that I am in and what I've been doing. And I wanted to come to you about a video dealing with gold diggers. Okay, since 2017, I've been viewing a lot of gold digger videos on YouTube and TikTok and just about any social media that I can, Facebook, you name it, Instagram. They're just everywhere, and people use their cars most of the time in these videos, and they walk by women on the sidewalk and they strike up a conversation with them, and they do whatever they can do to talk to these people. Most of the time the girls are, I'm not interested, blah blah blah. So they go back to their car, and these girls follow them back to their car, and some of them come running, after they've already said they're not interested in these guys. And then they knock on the window, hey, you were just trying to hook up with me, blah, blah, blah. And, it's a bunch of garbage, basically. They weren't interested before, but now that they see the guy went to a Lamborghini or a Rolls Royce or something of this nature, they go running out after them. Sometimes they are in a Corvette. It doesn't really matter what they're in, but there's a lot of guys that do this on mainly YouTube is what I watch, but there's other social medias that I do also watch. And it's incredible of the percentage of women that are out here, and especially in the United States. But then as I look at it, you can see that they're all over the place. They're not just in the United States. And granted, most of these third world countries, those women are looking for a come up anyways. If they like foreigners, they like foreigners because they have money. And sometimes they just act like they like them for the money. Oh, well, he's going to send me some money, so I'll just tell him anything that he wants to hear so I can get money from him. Perhaps the woman that I went to the Philippines for actually thought I would never show up there, so hey, I can get this, and that from him, and he's never going to come over here, so everything will be great for me. And I ended up going there and got my feelings hurt over it, and I learned many lessons through dealing with gold diggers. Okay, there are many of them out here, and sometimes if you act like you don't have any money, you can find it out a lot better. Case in point, I said to the woman, I said, well, before you liked me when I was making this kind of money, this and that. Well, that was before, she said. That was before. So you don't like me now because I'm not making that kind of money any longer. And that was pretty much what was said. And it was true. Just because I didn't have the funds that I had at one time, she was no longer putting anything into me. She just took my worth right out from under me, like I didn't have any worth. And I know who I am, and I know how to get what I need, and it doesn't have anything to do with anything illegal or anything like that. I just have different things that I know to build up a nest egg, and then go from there and make it into a bag, and then make it into whatever I want to make it into. And I have that ability. But she tried to break my very spirit. She tried to do whatever it is she could do to get whatever she wanted. And then when she got it all and made me basically look like the fool, then she pulled the rug out from under me and blah, blah, blah. You used to have that. You just don't have that anymore. And it really made me feel some kind of way. And I'm happy that my father took me out of that situation, because I don't want to be in that type of situation. You know, what are you building? Nothing. It's like that person doesn't want you. They want what you have. And through watching all of these gold digger videos, I can't say that I understand these women, but I do understand about them, what they try to do to bring you down, you know, not build you up. And a real woman, they're going to build their own wealth and build you up at the same time. And that's a real woman, a real woman, not a little girl inside of a woman's body. And they actually will care about you and for you. And I had to learn that. And I learned in a very difficult way. But all in all, you know, it was for my better good. You know, my ex-wife, I've talked about her before. Okay, I have 2 ex-wives, by the way. So, but my ex-wife, she was a very possessive, obsessive person. Meaning, if she knew that I was working with any Asian people, especially Asian women, she felt some kind of way, because she thought that I would just go with any Asian woman. And that's not true. However, because of who I am, and because I'm an empath, I always look to help other people. Well, just so happens there were 4 women. 4 women, okay? I'm not going to take on 4 women. Sorry, but not sorry. Anyhow, when they started, these 2 Vietnamese guys were driving cars. And they were the ones that would pick them up and bring them to the company I worked at. Well, just so happens that one got fired and the other one quit. And then they didn't have a way back and forth to work. One of the girls' mothers dropped them off a couple of times, but it wasn't a regular thing. And the mother had to get up a lot earlier to drop them off. And so I offered them a ride. I did. Now, my ex-wife did ask me, and I should have told her the truth. But if you knew my ex-wife, there isn't a possibility of me even coming close to saying what the truth actually was. I couldn't do it, you know, because she just wasn't in the point of understanding. She just blew up and, oh, well, you're doing this and you're doing that and blah, 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 blah. And then after I quit that place. I went to another place, and there were only like 3 or 4 women that worked there. And she didn't really bother with me so much when I was at that place. But I did start going to a church that had a lot of Vietnamese people. Now, I can say this with an honest heart. I helped those families when they got here from Vietnam. They needed help. Like, I had a small pickup truck at the time, and I would go to this place that actually gave them beds and all kinds of goods and that, even food and that. They didn't have a car. They didn't have any of that. So I would drive over there, pick up the beds, bring them to their apartments, help them load them into the rooms and everything else. And it really made me feel good as an empath. I love to help other people. But she found out about the church, and she was going over there and trying to find out, did I have a girl over there, whatever. And it just didn't work, okay? So then I went to this salad place that made salads. And I was an operator over there. Okay, so these Hispanic people, they were getting on a bus in the morning. They had to meet at this particular place, and then they would leave that place and go to my company. And then when they were off, they would go back to their houses. This bus would drop them off. Well, just so happens that between 5 to 10 of them just didn't have a ride back home in the nighttime. And so I gave a few of them a ride, you know. That's the very most that I felt I could do. I was happy to help. Yet and still, she still had things to say. And, it was just out of my own heart. It made me feel great to know that I could help other people. Even though I wasn't getting anything in return. I never asked for anything in return from any of them. Yet and still, she felt some kind of way, and then she called the office where I was working and told the management that I was messing around with some Vietnamese girl that worked there. Well, this girl that she was even talking about didn't even speak English, and I don't speak Vietnamese. Now, I know a few words here and there, but I don't know enough to carry a conversation with them. I have sung karaoke with a lot of them, and I can sing a few songs here and there in their language, but I don't even know what I'm singing when I'm singing. I just don't. And there are, like I said, there are a few words here and there. I might know maybe 60 words of theirs, but I couldn't put them in sentences or nothing like that. I wouldn't even know how to. But yes, I know how to, speak here and there, but just very little. And why will I try to mess around with a girl that can't even communicate? She spoke zero English. And it was the same with this Hispanic woman. I spoke little Spanish, and even in sentences. I could speak very little. Now I speak 100%, because the woman that I ended up marrying after my ex-wife, she couldn't speak any English, and I had to learn the language, so I did. But like I said, there were a lot of things that went on. She did her little investigation, this woman, that woman, and eventually, yes, I did hook up with the girl that she was accusing me of, sure enough. But the girl she was in California. And I don't know, she called several people to find out, blah, blah, blah. But I wasn't even messing around with that girl at that time. Nevertheless, I got accused of it. She sent me divorce papers to my work. The police were in the office waiting for me. They served me the papers. 45 days later, I was in court. She was there. Her lawyer wanted to talk to me before the court. And somehow or another, she ended up with just about everything. I ended up with a shirt on my back and a stereo and a computer, and that was it. And very regretful over the whole situation, but I couldn't do anything more than just that, you know. And I never wanted to. But yeah, I have dealt with gold diggers. I've dealt with possessed, obsessed women, and it just encircled me all the time. And now I don't even want to deal with those women. Now, if the right woman came into my life right this minute, I would know, because she wouldn't be possessed or obsessed or anything major in her life, anything that she could do wrong to me. I don't believe she would want to. And that is the type of woman that I want to deal with. You know, all in all, that's how it ends up. And that's just how it is. So, but I really just never wanted to deal with people like that. And, you know, that's just how it goes. But I do want you to know that I love you. I love you right there. Love yourself. Love my Father God. And by all means, love each other, people. Until the next time, love, peace, and soul.
Tomorrow.